All right, so I'm doing things a little bit differently. Pies just got done by Geelong, and let's get into this review of the game. All right, so this is a little bit different. So this is very raw. This is right out of the game's just finished. So this is it's just frustrating. Like, I just don't understand. This was do or die. This was season on the line stuff. This was, we've had a shit couple of weeks, and this is the one where we were supposed to come out and show something. And we kind of did. Geelong kicked the first 3 goals. We kicked the next 4, and you think, okay, we have something going on. We're showing a little bit, letting Geelong have their way a little bit. And then it was a bit of an arm wrestle for the game, but we just didn't look into it. Geelong took like over 130 uncontested marks, and we saw with Essendon last week where that's how teams beat us. They take the ball away from us, and Geelong did it well. Essendon did it well. Even Craig McRae said last week in the presser, he said, how can you tackle and how can you pressure when we don't have the fucking ball? And we didn't have it again today. I don't have the actually, let me get the stats. This is all live, baby. This is all live. Like, one thing that we did mess up on was centre clearances. Geelong kicked 4 to 6 goals off centre clearances. We got absolutely trounced in that. Darcy Cameron had 1,000 hitouts and still, didn't hit any to advantage, especially in the centre where, that's where you want to score most of your goals. That's where you want to set it up from. Jamie Elliott back was absolutely huge. He did so many good things, but Hustler, he can't do it all himself. That's the thing, and we're just makeshift. We're just patchwork. And as much as I want to say that the umpires were shit, but okay, they might have cost us a couple of goals, but it's not even just that. It's just Collingwood's willingness, Collingwood's fight. It's just not there. The game plan's changed. It's not the same. I get that we have to evolve, but sometimes you evolve too much. Like Charles Darwin, right? Fucking. Evolution's happened over 1 million years. It doesn't happen over one summer. We've just gone way too far thinking that we had to change the whole game plan, and people have just really, really worked us out. So let's look at, inside 50s. So we haven't had over 50 inside 50s for the last 2 months. We had 41 today. Geelong had 62. We had 64 hitouts and only 35 clearances. Geelong had 42. In the centre, we had 6 clearances. Geelong had 16. Uncontested possessions, they had 70 more uncontested possessions than us. Marks, we had 75. They had 145 marks. That's the uncontested marks that I was talking about. Tackles, 58 to 53. So we did well in the tackles. Tackles in the forward 50, they doubled us 6 to 13. So we weren't even pressuring in the forward 50 when we sort of had it. Mychek's a big loss. There was a couple of bright sparks, like Nick Dacos did what he could with that sort of tag. Then he gets that corky in his hamstring. Jordan Ngoe played okay. Most of these guys were unsighted though. Like, I think, Bobby Hill, as much as I love him, as much as he, Norm Smith, 4 goals in the grand final and everything else that he's sort of done, he just looks a shadow of himself. I don't know if it's too much in his head. I don't know if he was playing, the Jamie Elliott and the Bobby Hill role for so long. But Jamie Elliott comes back now. Bobby did a couple of nice things, but we just got to go back to playing fundamental football, and it's just not what we're doing. And there was some nice passages where we were sort of running it through, and it looked beautiful. It was scintillating. It was Collingwood football, but they were just too few and far in between. In that last quarter, Geelong had so many more uncontested marks because all they had to do was kick a couple of goals, and they could just hold the ball. They could just do what they wanted to do it, and. We're usually good in the fourth quarters, but now teams are working out. If you've got the ball, kick the 1 or 2 goals that you need, and then just start chipping it around because we can't get the ball, we can't run, and it's such an easy tactic against us, and we're seeing it. We saw it a little bit against the Gold Coast. We saw it against Essendon. We saw it today against Geelong. I dare say whoever we bloody play next week, they're going to do it to us as well. I'm just really disappointed, man. Like, this was do or die. And, I said on Instagram that we don't need the defibrillator anymore. We need life support because our season is on life support now. We just have to make the 8, and that's a hard task. We got the hardest run going into football now. And it's just, it's disappointing to see the shell of a team we've become, and I know it's injuries, right? I know it's injuries, but you can't say that because opposition supporters say everyone has injuries. But the thing with injuries is it fucks with the synergy of the team, right? And even though we've got all these players back, they haven't played together for, Jamie Elliott hasn't played together for 10 weeks with this team. Pendlebury and De Goey were weeks and weeks and weeks before. So at least this game, it wasn't a 4-quarter performance, obviously, but it was better than the last 2 or 3 weeks combined. Definitely better since, better than the Kangaroos game, better than the Gold Coast game, better than the Essendon game. Just not good enough. Our better at the moment isn't good enough, and we're going to need a full 720 to turn this around if we're to scrape into finals. There's nothing I want less than to win a premiership and then not make it on. We hear that at the start of this preseason. Oh, I've never seen a team this fit and ready to go for back-to-back. What's the psychology in that? Did it go to their heads, or it just looked like tonight? It just looked like in the last quarter, they had given up. Isaac Quaynor was on Jeremy Cameron for a little bit, for most of the game, really. He did an okay job. Braden Maynard was unsighted. Harvey Harrison did well off the wing. I love what Joey Richards can do. Look, there's little bits and pieces that I can sort of pick out and say that there was positives. There's always some positives in a loss. Even though a loss is shit, there's always some positives that you can pick out, and we have done a lot of good things. But that might be for another video because I am just so gutted and disappointed and cold. You can probably hear it from I was just yelling and I'm sick and I haven't done a video all week because I'm so sick. And I come here and we put this up in front of 73,000, in front of the 2010 Premiership replay or Premiership team. This is what we do. We could create a legacy here. It's something that we haven't done for a long time, and I thought it was going to sort of start today, where we start to finally get the ball rolling. But that's it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go now. This is fun though. I don't mind doing the interview, the match review after the game. But then, I'm obviously not doing a fan cam tonight because I'm doing this instead. I just wanted to get my raw emotions out, and yeah, the Coliseum's empty. Just like my heart is at the moment. Oh, I'm so sad, man. Yeah, it's no good. It's no good. But look, what can you do? You cast your mind to next week. It's going to be a long week. Who do we have next week? I don't even know. Round 19, Hawthorn, 4:30 on the 20th of July. 4:30 on the 20th of July, 4 days before my birthday. So let's hope we get the win. I'll see you there. I'm always going to be there. I love this club. I love this club to my last breath, but sometimes they're like a bad relationship. They're, yeah, that's no good. But look, anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, Single Shaka. I'll swoop you later.
Man, let me just say one thing, right? This was my first Collingwood game, and let me tell you, I probably won't be back.